Hello again, folks. Do you know what's going to happen right now? Literally, the future of the world depends on this video. That's a lot of pressure, okay? It's a lot of pressure. So, stickers on books. I got a lot of people talking about their experiences with stickers on books and things of the sort. And it's good to know that we all have a bond, no pun intended, together with this. And on Twitter, I had a poll of some hashtags we could use when we take pictures of our wrecked book covers or our, whatever, what have you. And 34 people voted, and it ended in a tie with Stickergate and Stopstickin coming up on top. Now, I think Britt said it best when she said, I hate when a poll ends in a tie because it's kind of like nothing happened. And she's right, to an extent. You all know my lovely wife, Zoe. Well, it turns out she forgot to vote. And it turns out that she actually came up with one of the hashtags that were in the poll. And it turns out that one of those hashtags that was in the poll was the two that were tied. So it turns out that the one she came up with, where she will lay her vote, is on hashtag stopstickin. So stopstickin is the winner of this. Now, there are a few other things I'd like to talk about. Let me put on my soft filter. It's not really a soft filter. There's a light right here. There's a few things I'd like to talk about. One, there was some opposition to stopstickin in a Voxer group I'm in. Now, I won't give you any names, but there were some points that were brought up that I'd like to address. Firstly, this almost sounded more like a troll than anything else, but this person was saying it was that store's book before it was your book, so they owned it, so they could do whatever the hell they want with it. And that's true. And typically, and I know I speak for a lot of other people out there, if we are at a bookstore, whether it's a new bookstore or a used bookstore, and we see a beautiful cover that is completely fucked with stickers on it, chances are we aren't going to purchase that copy. And it goes the same way as if you find a book that the cover is just mangled. You're probably not going to buy that book. Now, this person also said they buy books to read them, they buy books for the stories, and the covers don't matter. Okay? So what I say is, if you're one of these people who feel this strongly, I ask you all to rip the covers off of all your books and mail them to me. And then I will have your covers. And since I care about covers, I could make, like wallpaper or, I don't know, a tablecloth, a shower curtain, a dog blanket. There's a million things I could do with a pile of book covers that aren't wanted by the readers. So, message me and I'll send you my address and we can do the exchange. Okay? So there's that. Next, another thing that was said, and I think this was a little more on the real, was that the barcode stickers used by bookstores and libraries, that they are for categorical purposes, to categorize the books that you have in your establishment. And I completely understand that. I have no problem with that. But unless there is something that I don't know about, well, let me put this other point in there because this point goes with my other point. The point was that those barcodes are barcodes for new books, and they can't be, I don't know if it's they can't be or they shouldn't be scanned again for other purposes, basically. Well, if we're talking about libraries, okay, I don't know why they can't scan the original barcodes, because they're not hooked up to BookScan or SoundScan or anything like that. And they don't sell new products. Like, libraries don't sell new books, I don't think. So I don't know how that could backfire on them by using those. But what I also don't know if books purchased by a library from a publisher or a distributor, if those even have barcodes. I have books that I've purchased from libraries that have barcodes, but I don't know if those books were originally donated or if those were originally purchased from a distributor. So I don't know about that. So if you know about that, you could leave a comment down below. Now, when it comes to mom and pop shops or used bookstores or charity shops or thrift stores or whatever, most of those places don't even use barcodes. They don't. So that's not an issue. But I still don't think that it's not like when you scan a barcode, like an alarm goes off and an alert is sent to SoundScan or BookScan, that whatever judges how many books are sold or whatever. That is a program you have to have hooked up into your POS, your point of sale system. So any kind of whatever system you have in place at the store could technically read any barcode, and you can code any barcode to be any product. So, like, if I had a scanner, I could put in this book over here and say it's a Lamborghini Countach or something like that if I wanted to. So there's that. So that doesn't really sound like a huge argument to me. And, like, correct me if I'm wrong, or let me know what you guys think about this. But, like, when and the other thing was they have to put those stickers all over a book so they know when a book is stolen. so they could get that book back. And it's not a GPS system, so that's not going to work. The second thing is that if a book is stolen from a library, and I don't mean checked out and not returned, I mean if a book is stolen, no one's ever going to see that book again. Unless that person sells it at a yard sale or something. Okay? Like, that book is gone. No one's going to, like, hunt down Tommy Two Socks to get that copy of The Glass Throne or whatever. So that just isn't going to happen. But for a long time, and I think they still do it, but libraries and even bookstores will stamp the inside of a book, or the top page ends that'll just say, like, Library of Poopville doo-doo-doo or something like that. And I don't mind those, because, like, those tell me where the book's been. Those are like a small little time capsule of a timeline where this book has been and when. I don't mind that. It's just placing stickers over things. It just, I don't like it. Okay? So, there's that. So that's all stuff I like. Let me know what you think down below. Some people had some good points in the comments, where they don't mind when people just write with pencil the price on the inside page or something. Like, I have a ton of books that have that, and I never even erase them. And if you want to erase them, you can, but I don't, because I'm like, oh, I like to know what I paid for this book. And I love it too when you find, like, dedications, like somebody bought this book to give it as a gift to somebody, and it's like, Dear Cheryl, this book makes me think of your hair and body. Ooh la la, I love you. From Donald, 1954, or something like that. I love that shit. It, like, it's just, it adds like a whole other layer to the mythos of that book, if that's even a thing. But so those are things that I have. Now, another thing came up in this that is very important to talk about too, and it's talking about places like, basically, if you order a book on abe.com, there's these sellers. So there's like Thrift Books, Better World Books, I think is what it's called. And there's a few others. We get stuff from them all the time. Now, a couple things came up as it is with that stuff there. And what it is that one person said, you know, we're getting these books for a discount, and they're keeping the old books out of landfills, you know, so we should just, like, that's what we get for buying books that way. And I don't think that's true, because if people stood up and said, fuck you, we're not going to buy these books anymore, they would have to change their practice, because they wouldn't be making any money. Even if it is a nonprofit, they still need to have something coming in. The other problem with Abe and places like Abe is they, under the picture, it'll say stock image, or it'll say seller image. Seller image is good. That means the seller took a picture of the book that is for sale, and that is the one you will receive. Stock image means they just, like, put the barcode in, and this is the picture that came up. So the book can look like anything. Sometimes I've done that, and the books I get aren't even the same cover. Like, it's a completely different cover. And a lot of that is because, you know, when you open a book, let me see, what we'll do this one because it's right here. So, like, you open the book, and you see, like, right here you have this number. This one says 70, okay? The numbers usually go backwards from 1 to 10, and each time a book is reprinted, they'll take, like, the 1 off, so it'll just be like a 2 to 10. And then they'll take the 2 off on the next printing of 50,000 copies or whatever. So a lot of times what happens is they keep the same UPC code or barcode or whatever, or item number, and each time they reprint the book, they just change that little thing. Sometimes they'll even add stuff to the book, like they'll add an introduction or a foreword or an afterword or a glossary or something like that. And sometimes when they do that, they don't make it a new printing of the book. So, and sometimes they change the cover. So you could be looking for like a certain edition of a book under a certain barcode number or whatever. And when they have the stock image up, you'll order it and you'll get a completely fucking different book. That was happening with me a lot when I was ordering the Raymond Chandler, Philip Marlowe UK Penguin editions. Wow, that was a mouthful. They weren't, they didn't vary. And so I was getting books in the mail that were all different fucking covers. Like, and it was driving me crazy because I wanted the awesome minimalistic UK covers, and I was getting everything. But that's because it's a different edition and they don't change that number. So when you are shopping on those things, and you could ask, a couple times I've written them and said, can you take a picture of the book so I know which book it is that I'm buying or whatever. I've actually done that 3 times. 1 time they sent me a picture. The other 2 times they told me to fuck off, basically. So that's a whole other thing. But that is another problem we as collectors have to deal with, and try to make this world a better place. Because I'm not joking when I say that these books they're pieces of art. Like the words in between the covers themselves, any illustrations inside, the font used, the line spacing, every bit of this is a piece of art from that time. And no one can argue that. That's not an arguable argument, I guess. And I'm not just, and that was another thing, because I thought one of the best tags was respect covers. Gizmo, just sitting there eating a chair without a care in the world. Can you believe that? So respect covers was a really good one that I liked. Another one that I liked was respect vintage. Now I'm thinking we should just change it to respect books. Because the other argument I was having was, it's not just old books. Like, yeah, like old paperbacks, because of the nature of them, like you need to be more careful with. But in, like, I don't know how they're making, trade paperbacks today. I don't know what they're going to be like in 50 years, if they're going to be falling apart. Yeah, I'm calling an audible. Let's just say respect books. And if you want to do the sticker one on top of it, stopstickin, for sure. But like like other things I don't like. I don't like when like a motion picture company will pay the publisher to put a sticker on the book that says, now a major motion picture. I don't like it when the publishers put stickers on the book that say, hey, this was long listed for the Booker or something like that. And I mean, some people are going to argue about that. And some people are going to say it's really not hard getting a sticker off. But I'm going to fucking tell you right now, that sticker on my Moon Man book, that was so hard to get off. That was like seriously the sticker from hell. Like, it did not want to give. It was like, up yours, buddy. I'm here. So, and I did all sorts of fun stuff, and it still ripped a little bit. But yeah, just, fucking hell, I'm just looking at my books. Just, stop sticking and respect books. Is that good? Are we cool on that? Because, like, it would be hypocritical for me to say the only important books to save are books that were from like 95 and before. It's all books. Like, there shouldn't be any books that we're doing this to. So yeah, let me know what you think down below. This video is really long, and I'm sorry. I hope you listen to it at 2 speed, and have a good weekend.